Hello, welcome to Gabbing Gilmore. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Catherine. This is the comfort podcast for your favorite comfort show.
So grab some Cubans
And hide your antique sewing box.
as we stroll through Stars Hollow.
Okay, so did our intro give everyone a teaser, a clue as to what we're talking about today?
Are we, is it something to do with the Gilmores? Emily and Richard?
And Logan.
And Logan.
And all the boyfriends. Welcome to the Gilmores.
We should pretend we're the maid.
Oh my gosh, that would have been funny.
Do you think that their maids had to say something? I never really saw them say anything.
We
What did
should
they
write
say?
a book that's called like The Maid Diaries.
Fan
And
fiction.
yes. I wonder if anyone's done it. And it's sort of this compilation of all the maids that come and go.
Yes.
And they leave this book for each other. And then the next one picks up on it.
It's like a guest
And they
book.
have it locked away. Yeah, like hidden somewhere.
That's so good.
That'd be really
it's
cool.
like tips and tricks for dealing with
Yeah,
Mrs. Gilmore.
exactly. And the mister. If he asks you a question about his shoes, just run.
Yeah. Or respond strongly. Don't shake.
Right.
Stand tall.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we wanted to compare today Rory's boyfriend's dinners at the Gilmores because it is so funny when you think about it. Emily and Richard have gone out of their way in some cases to have all the boyfriends over for dinner.
I know, even more so than Lorelai.
Lorelai's too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think we'll have to get to hers in
Yeah.
a subsequent episode, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but they really want to know Rory's boyfriends.
They do.
And they want to know when she's dating, when she's broken up, who she's with.
It's like a rite of passage.
It is.
I bet all the boyfriends, much like the maids, the boyfriends, they could get together and commiserate a little bit, but they won't.
They totally could. I don't think Jess and Logan are going to get together anytime soon.
No. Nope.
Or Dean and Logan. No one's getting together with Logan.
No. Maybe, I mean, Marty has been forced to, but
Right.
yeah, I guess he's not really a boyfriend. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get into it, Jackie. Let's contrast and compare all these exciting dinners. What do you say?
All right, let's do it.
So should we start with what leads up to each dinner invitation?
Yes.
Okay.
You mean Emily forcing the invitation usually?
Is it really an invitation?
Is that every time? Let's see.
It's more like a jury summons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we think that Rory ever wants to bring a boyfriend there? Is she ever excited about this?
I mean, she was excited with Dean.
Oh, she was. All right, let's start with Dean.
Yeah, she was naively excited.
Yeah, she was still a youngin'.
She was. She didn't
didn't
understand.
know.
But you know who should have understood? Okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, let's do
back
it.
up.
Okay.
So the reason that Dean comes to dinner isn't just because they know Rory's dating him, but it's because she is in the top 3% of her class, they find out. And Emily and Richard are over the moon.
So cute.
And so they say, we're going to make a special dinner for you. You can have friends come.
Yes,
They said friends plural.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Do you think Rory ever thought about bringing Lane too?
I would love to know what her thought process was.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, after that dinner when she decided to invite Dean, because I feel like we need to break this down a little bit. Like Emily said, friends. Great. Okay. And then how do we get to, I'm going to bring Dean? Maybe there's a desire to bring Dean and to have them meet Dean, which I get. Like you said, she's still like naively excited about this. But then how do we not communicate to the Gilmores?
This is my thing too.
Yeah.
The person who should have done that is Lorelai.
Yes.
She should have called her mother on Wednesday night and said, listen, Mom, that was so sweet of you to invite a friend for Rory. She's bringing Dean. Now, I know you weren't thrilled with him after the dance.
Hello.
But you're going to have to get over it for this dinner. And they could have gotten that out of the way. But no, they just show up there
Yeah.
unannounced.
Lorelai knows better.
She does know better. That was a fail here.
This always surprises me when Lorelai doesn't prepare people. And I have to think here it's because she was so distracted with Max. Because she's hiding her own secret.
That's true.
That she is trying so hard to not tell them. That she has to be careful about everything that she says. I think she's overly focused on herself, but it's a misstep.
Yeah, come on, Lorelai. You could have seen this coming.
Yeah. Now, when Rory asked Dean, did you notice his reaction?
Well, yes, because, most of the boyfriends are hesitant, but Dean, I feel like he was only hesitant because of what happened at the dance.
Very astute of Dean.
It is.
He knew.
He could see it coming.
Yes, he could.
And he's like, well, I don't know. I don't think they're so thrilled with me.
Yes.
But he didn't really have any other problems with it.
Well, then she pushes and he's like, okay, I mean, if you want me to, sure. He gives in pretty fast.
Right. Okay. And then we're going to get to similar but different boyfriend reactions.
Because I'm also thinking too, if Dean knows about, let's say that Rory relayed the fight that Lorelai and Emily had after the dance to Dean. Mm-hmm. We don't know how much of it she might have told him.
No, we don't.
Considering how Rory tends to keep things to herself. But if he knows any of that, he's probably terrified. Like, wow, that fight is a result of what we did and it's my fault. They must hate me.
We also know Rory didn't talk to him for like 4 days following that dance. So she might not have told him.
Maybe she didn't.
She's weird like that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about why Jess was invited and what his reaction is. So Emily lays it on thick at dinner one night about knowing that Rory broke up with Dean.
You know what's hilarious? Emily is so funny. I think it's a cold open.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's so funny because she starts off complaining about tricks.
Oh, yeah, for a long time.
Yes. And then they're like, oh my gosh, can you please stop talking about tricks? And then she just like focuses all her attention on Rory.
Do you think she wore them down on purpose?
She seems hyper fixated.
Yeah.
But then it's like, what is going on in her brain that she's kind of like, okay, they want me to stop.
Right. Let me focus on you.
I got something to talk about.
It's like she needs to move her target somehow.
I'm like,
and then she's just smiling at Rory. Remember that part?
Yes.
You guys should go back and watch it. It's very funny. And then she lays it on so thick. She gives Rory a guilt trip about not informing her that Dean and Rory broke up.
Yeah.
It's always best to notify your family of big life events, which isn't wrong, you know, but like also the whole thing about Emily like saying, well, I might invite him to an event.
Yeah. But also, I believe this of her because think about Rory's 16th birthday party when she just often invited whoever she thought should come. This is what Emily does.
It's
and
true.
so you can see her just going off and inviting Dean to something.
Yeah.
And being like, oh.
You're not together
Yeah.
anymore? Here's my thing about that, though. Emily makes it seem like the worst option is for everyone to meet Jess at graduation.
That's how she manipulates her.
And she's going to bring like the pastor and the ladies
and
from
tricks.
the DAR and but like, would that really have happened? Would that really have come to fruition? I mean, Jess isn't at graduation,
right.
So Rory could have gotten out of all this.
Right.
But is meeting people for 5 minutes at a graduation worse than a whole dinner?
I know. I think
where you're on the spot?
Trying to decide how to manipulate Rory, what would make Rory the most uncomfortable. And apparently she thought it's having this group of people descend on her boyfriend versus Friday night dinner. Yeah.
Right.
And it did seem to work. I know. It's a little surprising.
I also thought Rory could have put her off a little bit. You know, she could have gone to talk to Jess and been like, oh, sorry, Grandma, he can't get out of work this week.
Yes.
But I'll try to see, in the next few weeks. Like, she could have kept delaying it.
I think so.
But she didn't. So how
Not at
about her
all.
conversation with Jess?
Well, actually, we got to back up because what I also love about when Rory does accept the invitation is the way they keep focusing on Emily being nice.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yes, everyone will be nice to everybody. Keyword being nice.
Nice.
So she says, really, really nice. This is Rory. Because Lorelai says it too.
Of course it will be nice.
Yeah, that's what I just said. I said nice.
We'll have lamb. It'll be nice. everyone will be nice to everyone. And then Lorelai's sitting there nodding her head like, she's proud of Rory.
Yes,
and I am too.
Yes.
I'm like, go Rory. Well, because at this point she has already suffered through the Dean dinner and has seen what is possible and what is probable.
Yes.
And she knows Jess's capacity and limits.
Yes.
She knows this is wildly out of his comfort zone.
Absolutely. The other key piece of this is that why I think Emily is rushing the dinner is because Richard is going to be out of town.
Right.
And if we think back to the Dean dinner,
right.
and we'll talk about Richard's behavior toward Dean, which you all might remember, I bet Emily is thinking, this is going to be better if Richard's not here. He doesn't need to be around these guys. He doesn't handle himself very well. And Emily knows, she has an inkling about what Jess is like.
Yes, she does.
She knew Lorelai was trying to keep Rory away from him months ago.
Yeah.
So she's pushing, Richard's going to be out of town. Let's do this.
Isn't that still so funny, though, that, like, she is willing to let Richard out of this sort of duty that she envisions that they have, but like Emily still needs to have the dinner and sign off on this boy in a way.
Well, it's kind of like Lorelai says, like they are going to insert themselves in your life no matter what. It's like even when Emily knows that Richard isn't that capable of doing it, she's still going to insert herself.
Yeah. Well, that's a good point about him being out of town. Appreciate that. So then when Rory approaches Jess, that's a really interesting conversation because she eases in by saying, you know, can you ever get out of work? Instead of saying like, this is the deal.
Yep.
She kind of, it's like slightly tricky.
It is.
A trick.
Yeah. She, like you said, she's kind of easing, coming at him from different angles. And he says, yes, I can get out of work. What's up?
Yeah.
And then after she tells
Dinner
him,
at my grandmother's.
he says no.
No.
He outright says no.
I totally wrote that down in my notes. Like,
I think it gets
Jess
lost.
says a flat out no
just
among
straight.
her persuasions.
Yeah.
He's just like, no.
Because they're kind of bantering and you can lose it.
Yes. It's kind of like their conversation about the winter carnival where he's just like, no.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
He's straightforward.
And then she keeps trying to persuade him.
Yeah. He says, bring a doppelganger, basically.
I thought that was really funny.
Come up with other things.
Bring another guy, just don't kiss him.
Like, this is how he's like, I'm going to say something so ridiculous because I want you to know that I really don't want to do this.
Right. Like this invitation is ridiculous.
Yeah. It's all ridiculous.
It reminds me of when Zach says, I'm totally not a meet the parents kind of guy. Like, I'm a slide out of the car kind of dude all the way.
I love the way he says that.
If Jess were able to articulate things, if he chose to explain himself, he would have said something kind of similar.
He would have, yeah.
For him, it's just no.
But he says one of my favorite Jess lines here when Rory like kisses him to convince him or whatever. And he says, you Gilmores think a lot of yourselves. I say that all the time.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Just comes up like, you Gilmores think a lot of yourselves.
I love it.
It's so good the way he says it.
It is. It is. Okay, how about Logan? Let's talk about the invitation for him and his reaction. This is a funny one.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
I don't love it.
The panic, though?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it is
I don't
funny.
Like Logan's reaction, but let's talk about the Gilmores.
Yeah, let's back up.
Yeah.
The panic is hilarious. So Richard and Emily are with Rory at dinner because Lorelai is not coming to dinners because she is still mad about the inviting Chris to the wedding vow renewal thing and she and Luke being broken up and all that stuff. Rory was mad at them too, but now she's back at Friday night dinners, but she's alone. Okay. So then she mentions getting the internship and then it comes out that, well, Mitchum invited me himself. I first met him, you know, when they had me over for dinner.
Yeah.
Blah!
I love that Richard and Emily are on the same page.
Absolutely.
If you think about season 1, Richard, like in the very first, 6 episodes, I feel like he wouldn't have cared.
No.
But I love that he's right with her.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, a week? We have to messenger overnight. We should have had them first.
Like, what is this social protocol that they're working from? You know what I mean?
I know. Is it expected that the girl has the boy first? If so, I don't know about this. But,
yeah.
but I think they're just completely caught off guard. Like, they don't know that this relationship has been moving forward. And they are so excited about it. They can't believe it.
So excited. I'm wondering if that's part of the rush, too, that the Huntsbergers are in a slightly higher echelon than them, like wealth-wise.
Yeah.
Not old money, we don't think. I mean, it's,
Hard to know.
It's hard to know because
we don't really know.
The grandfather seems rich, I'm sure. And Logan says they've had the place in Martha's Vineyard as long as Martha's been around.
That's right.
It feels like they have old money and new money. Because, like,
yes,
the whole publishing industry thing feels like Mitchum's.
Yes,
doesn't it?
Although they talk about it being like a family dynasty that he's expected to take on, but that could just be Mitchum.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe the family had like a single newspaper and then Mitchum really brought it to a new level in his generation. Who knows? Okay, good question. But they seem really excited about it. Yeah, like is it just the wealth, or are they excited that Rory has finally chosen a suitor whom they deem appropriate?
Oh yeah.
And acceptable.
I think it's both.
Yeah.
They are so jazzed about this. And they circle, they're within the circle of the Huntsbergers.
Yeah.
The Huntsbergers attend their functions and their events. So they're within that circle, but the way that right before the dinner that Richard starts talking about getting their own compound on Cape Cod feels very like a Keeping Up with the Joneses kind of thing. Like,
yes.
Now that they are more likely to be connected to the Huntsbergers, now Richard's decided we need to look more like the Huntsbergers.
Exactly.
Whereas like the Gilmores could have gotten a place on Cape Cod any old time they wanted.
Sure.
They never did.
Right.
Why now?
Exactly.
Why a compound? And they're talking about to pass down to generations. So now they're thinking about great grandkids.
They're thinking about Rory having babies with Logan.
Blonde hair and blue-eyed.
Oh my God, that's probably the grossest line.
It's so gross, and it's weird to me that Richard likes that.
I know.
That he seems too giddy about that.
Right?
I feel like it would have been like,
It's like, wait, aren't we all so worried about Rory getting pregnant?
Right.
Before she's married?
Right.
And here they are talking about her babies? It's like, whoa.
We spiraled.
Where are we?
The minute someone is wealthy and has a name, everything is okay.
I know.
It's all fine.
Which
in
makes
their
me
eyes.
wonder, like, would they have been fine if Rory gave up on her career aspirations?
Oh,
Question for another day.
Yeah.
Let's answer that another day. Okay.
Write it down.
So let's talk about Rory going to Logan.
Yes.
She gets kind of swept up in this, but she
They
has
force her.
They do. They do.
They force her. Emily's like,
Call him.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now.
So she does. And she does it in a very interesting way, don't you think?
Very.
She tells him, my grandparents are panicked. Like they're running around. They think they're too late and you might be getting a carrier pigeon as we speak.
Which is funny.
Ha ha. Yeah. But then she does this whole pre-apology. Like, I did not use the B word. I did not make it sound like, we're serious.
Yeah.
She's like carefully dancing around this new relationship that they have.
What is going on in her head that she thinks this invitation might cause Logan to bolt and rescind the whole offer, of the boyfriend-girlfriend? But why was it okay for Rory to attend dinner at Logan's last week?
Exactly.
Why was that okay?
Right.
But here she's freaking out that he's going to bolt. What's the difference?
There is no difference.
I don't like that for Rory.
Well, I think the difference is maybe that the invitation from Logan's parents really came from honor.
True.
And it was sort of like, you should come. It was kind of a last minute thing. Like, I could use more friendly faces there. You know, this would be fun. You should come.
To support her
It
more
wasn't
so.
really an invitation from Shira and Mitchum.
That's very true.
Yeah. And then Rory found out, wow, I actually wasn't welcome. Or, I mean, they let me in their house, but like, they didn't want me there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she had seen the look on his face after grandfather roasted him and said, this girl's not appropriate. And she was close to losing him at that point. Like, remember, she calls Lorelai afterwards.
That was just
She's
a week.
still in her party dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, saying like, it went terribly. I think Logan's freaked out.
Yeah.
And Lorelai says you should let him bolt. And then he shows up. So it's like, Rory has seen how quickly this could slip through her fingers.
I feel like I take Lorelai's stance here, where it's like, if he wants to bolt, let him go. If he wants to go, let him go. I mean, I hate that Rory feels that she has to do this much work and feels so afraid. Like, you should not feel this afraid in the beginning of a relationship.
Don't you think a lot of young women feel this way, though?
Yes.
And like teenage girls and probably every age.
Yes. Like, I get
where it's like,
there's like the normal, feelings when you're first with someone, like, do they like me? Do they not? Is this something like, that's normal. We all get that. We're all unsure of ourselves. But she knows he's into her at this point, and it's all his other issues that are keeping him from being with her. And to have to feel like she's got to like grab onto him or be so careful, it's just sad.
well, remember when Nicole brought up with Luke meeting her parents for lunch? And the two of them were going to Broadway shows, and they were like pretty cozy by this point.
Yeah.
And he freaks out.
Yeah.
I think it's like that old trope of, like, once you introduce the family, the guy's going to freak out.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to look at it as a ball and chain. That whole thing.
I don't know what that's like. I never dated as an adult. I don't know what that's like to introduce someone.
You never dated anyone who didn't really already know your family?
Who was just like coming over and hanging out.
I knew your husband before you did. I'm like, that guy?
Everyone's like, what?
I know that guy from the pit. Yeah, I know him. That tall guy? Yeah.
Okay, sure.
He's from
Plays
the
the French
play.
horn? Okay. So yeah, I mean, it must be hard. Like, I don't know. I'm sure it is a thing. But what I don't like here is that Logan has the nerve to ask, what are the odds of getting out of it? When it's like, dude, you had Rory sit through the dinner at your house. You need to reciprocate. And he does switch right after to saying yes. But I don't like that he had the nerve to say that.
It was the way he phrased it. It was kind of like a checkbox.
Like, he just had to say it.
Like, what are the odds of getting out of it?
It's like just very Logan.
Almost like very Logan. Like,
Yeah.
is it something we have to do?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do it. It wasn't
Mr.
to
Minimalist
me-
effort.
Yeah, it wasn't like Jess being like, no, I don't want to do this. It was like, I'm a fun guy. Do we have to spend our Friday night this way? We do?
okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
That's
all right.
how it read to me.
King of the Sloths. Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But agreed with you that he, after last week, he
Get some
shouldn't have
nerve,
said it.
buddy.
And then he quickly takes it in stride because, like, this is his wheelhouse.
Yep.
And we're gonna get there.
Yep.
But he is not intimidated by this
No.
whatsoever. No.
He's gonna go froof up his hair and put on his suit and head over. All right. But yeah, we'll talk about that after.
Froof up his hair. Now I'm picture Logan like standing in the bathroom in front of the mirror
Right?
doing his hair.
Just like Jess.
yeah.
They spend equal amounts of time on their hair.
But Jess had a lot more hair.
he probably.
It was like
probably
longer
did.
and
Yeah.
stood up more.
Yeah.
But I mean, Logan's got a good head of hair too.
Yeah.
We'll give you that. Yeah. All right. So let's talk about the actual dinners with each boyfriend. Let's start with like the immediate impressions of Richard and Emily and like whether this tracks for them or not. So when Dean comes over,
Dean. Oh, and he's wearing like that. I think it's summer, right? Or it's like the start to summer because
Yeah.
Rory just finished the year, and Dean is already very tan. And he's wearing like a whitish shirt. And then one of those like necklaces that we used to wear, like definitely guys wore in the summer and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's like
a hemp necklace or more of like a
maybe some beads in there.
Oh, girl, I used to make those.
I know you did. I actually did a little bit too. I made one for my husband that he wore forever.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
But yeah,
I
I mean,
he
he
is
looks
being more of like a rope kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's cute.
He looks like cool.
Yeah. But
you
like
know?
a high school kid trying to, dress up a little.
Which I imagine
so cute.
Emily does not like. Like he looks too cool. He's not wearing the proper lapels.
No. His lapels are not there.
They have quite the moment when when Emily opens the door, and I love Emily's ability to rearrange her face.
I was just going to say, no, the Kelly Bishop.
Yes.
We have to shout her out here again. Sorry, but like the moments when she can fix her face in the same moment is like A+. This is another acting masterclass from her. Much like when she tells Shira Huntsberger off. Like the best acting. So she's visibly perturbed and then just like okay, then she like does her hostess smile. It's like, God, it says so much about her as a human being, like as this character of Emily Gilmore. I love that Kelly Bishop can do it. Okay, sorry.
It's fantastic. And she does kind of stay there, I have to say.
Yeah.
Emily stays there.
She does a pretty good job of getting along with Dean. And you know why I think this is? I think she views it as low stakes. Like, yes, this boy was out all night with her, the whole dance thing, yada yada.
Yeah.
But I think she views him as like, this is a high school phase.
Yeah.
This boy will not last. I'm just going to be nice. We're going to have a dinner. We're going to get it over with. Whatever.
And they're going to,
But how about Richard? I know you have things to say about Richard.
Shameful. You know, I want to talk about Dean first. Dean is trying so hard to be polite.
Yes.
He is giving it his all. He's uncomfortable. And the poor kid, like, when he says the house is huge. Oh, Dean.
I know. So sweet.
But he was attempting to compliment.
He was.
You know, and he's nervous. He knows Emily doesn't like him. The beer thing is very funny where Lorelai makes a joke to try to diffuse the situation a little bit and help Dean feel more comfortable. Dean will have a beer. Yeah. I don't think it helps him feel more comfortable.
No, but it broke the ice a little.
It did. And Emily goes along with it. So they're all laughing. It's cute. And then Richard walks in.
Yeah.
Did you notice that Dean walks up to Richard and goes to shake his hand?
Of course I did.
What does Richard do?
Rejects him.
He doesn't shake his hand.
I mean, that's like guy code 101.
That's bad.
It's bad.
It's shameful.
Like, refusing to shake someone's hand, especially for Richard.
Yeah.
He shakes hands all day.
Yeah.
With probably people who mean a lot less to him than his granddaughter's boyfriend.
Right?
You know? And you just do that when you're a guy.
Exactly. And they're both standing up in front of everyone.
It's so awkward.
It's like a show of it. Like, no, I'm not going to shake your hand.
And Lorelai and Emily both have this look on their face like, what just happened? That's so... It's not just awkward. It's mean.
It is.
It's rude. And can I just say here also that Emily... We just went through the whole thing about Kelly Bishop being amazing and Emily fixing her face and all that stuff. But isn't it so joyful that Richard gets to just be pissed off the whole dinner without hiding it?
Without
hiding it. The joys of being a man in his world.
Silent and not saying a word.
Silent. He doesn't have to carry the conversation. He doesn't have to smile. He has the luxury to sit there and pout.
How do we keep finding more emotional labor instances? We could make more and more episodes about the emotional labor of women. We find a lot with Emily and Richard, and this is another one. Yep, I wrote the same thing.
I kept thinking the whole time, like, oh, how nice for you.
Yep.
How nice.
Until he decides that he's going to take down now everything that was built through the whole dinner, where Emily was being doing all the work, being kind, putting in the effort, and he decides at dessert he's going to tear it down.
Yeah.
Oh, Excuse me.
Right.
Okay.
Now you're going to pipe up now that you have figured out some of your emotions or you've decided what you want to say.
Yeah. Did you notice he outright laughs when Dean says that he gets a mixture of grades?
Yeah.
He laughs.
Yeah, he does.
Like, this is really poor behavior for an adult.
Yeah, it is.
And then mocks Dean's use
like,
of yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. I know, it's like, he's a boy.
Yes. It's bad.
And Dean the whole time, like, say what you will about Dean, but, and I don't think he's necessarily trying to impress the Gilmores at this dinner so much as be polite and respectful.
Yeah.
Like, he's giving me Midwestern vibes of like, you know, that's like, I was raised by two parents who taught me to be polite.
Yeah.
You know, I can stand up and shake a hand and be polite enough. You know, like he might not know the social code of the Gilmores, but he's handling himself the best he can.
Definitely. And he's tall enough to manage Richard.
To share the same air and look him in the eye.
But it doesn't win him any points.
Oh my God, we could have done a whole episode just about Dean and Richard.
I know, right?
Because then remember the whole car thing?
Just their whole relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Make a note. Dean and Richard's relationship. I'll take that.
Write it down.
Yeah, write it down.
So yeah. Then do you want to get into the grilling?
Sure.
I mean, you already started a little bit, but we know what happens during this. I don't think we need to go through it word for word, but like he has this whole thing about I wanted to be put on a suit and be a very important man. I mean, does anything give you the ick more than that?
No. Yes. No. Who is he saying this for?
I wish everyone could see the look on your face.
Like, what is it? Yes or no? Who is he saying it for?
It's like he suddenly got up on stage and he's having a monologue during dinner.
Is this for Rory?
It's for everyone. Everyone needs to hear his thoughts because he's been thinking about them all of dinner. And now he would like to unleash them. It's like someone just gave him a microphone. You know, I dreamed of travel. I wanted to be a very important man. Like, what's a freaking very important man?
Yeah, a privilege.
Exactly. Like
knowing you have privilege.
So, right. Like if Dean builds a house, like, is he not an important man?
Absolutely.
You know?
No, and we know they think this way. We know they think Luke isn't very important, even though he owns a business that he partially built himself, but yes, and helped take care of his family. And, you know, all these things that he's done, that's not very important. It's not capitalist enough, apparently. It's not fancy enough.
No.
He doesn't have a 401k.
Not for the age of 16.
Yeah. Like he's just not doing the things.
And then he grills them. He grills Dean with some of those questions you mentioned.
Yeah, yuck.
And you have to wonder, like, it's clear that there's a piece of his brain that's occupied by what happened to Lorelai in high school and getting pregnant. Because he goes through this whole thing about, like, some people can hold you back.
Yeah.
Right. And, but like, is it just the Lorelai complex or is it something bigger in your opinion?
Yeah.
Or like more complicated?
I do think it's more complicated. I don't think it's just the Lorelai complex because they still would have been okay with Christopher. You know, even though he got her pregnant when they were 16, they were still okay with him. They still welcomed him into their home because, let's go, wealthy, name, you know, all the things.
Was he a very important
good family?
Man? He had the name. He had
That's all they need.
the elite status.
Yeah.
Because let me just interject for a second. I wonder if Emily told Richard about the dance night. I actually am going to go with a no. She was really upset when she came home from that.
Yeah,
but
she was.
Emily also knows sometimes Richard doesn't need certain information.
Right.
And I feel like she would have kept that one to herself.
I have to agree because I think of what happened with her fight with Lorelai after. I think that fight was so volatile and hurtful that I feel like Emily would have been hyper focused on that and wouldn't have wanted to tell Richard.
Because Richard and Rory at this point are really just, this is season 1. They're just developing a relationship.
Yeah.
And I think Emily wanted to encourage that and not do anything to discourage that.
Very true. She's trying so hard to keep Lorelai and Rory in their lives right now.
Yeah.
Like, she'll do anything.
And I think she would have feared what he would have done.
Mm-hmm. Well, sure. Yeah.
More emotional labor. Okay. But the whole like speech about some people can hold you back. I'm glad you brought up the parallel to Lorelai and Christopher. And yes, we will dig in on Lorelai's boyfriends in another episode. But like, what if Rory had brought Tristan home for dinner?
Okay, so I was thinking about this because I'm glad you brought that up, because there was a lot of discourse about the way that Richard was treating a teenager, Dean being the teenager. Dean is a child. But if we think about the way that the Chilton teenagers show up at Rory's 16th birthday party, so this includes Tristan, and Richard has the run-in with Tristan, right? They are mini adults when they are around other adults.
Yes.
You can see their training and their breeding.
So true.
Tristan falls right into it during his interaction.
Right.
So first he's interacting with
He's
Rory.
being gross
He's
to
being
Rory.
disgusting, banter,
Oh, give me a
harassing
kiss.
her. Yeah. And then Richard shows up and what does he do? Whoosh, hello, sir. Hello,
Switch.
Mr. Gilmore.
Puts his hand out.
Yep. Oh, you know my grandfather.
And he says his
So-and-so.
full name. I'm Tristan Dugray.
Yeah, of course. Oh, yes, you know my grandfather. Yes. Da-da-da-da-da.
How many teenagers say their full name?
Yes. This is training.
It is. It's training.
And this is the sign to Richard that these boys are of good breeding.
I hate that word.
I know, I'm going to keep saying it.
It's like a dog.
So making you think of like horse. Yeah. And
so
dogs.
gross.
It's like their ability to act like mini adults is proof that they are bred well.
No, you're absolutely right.
And Dean is not doing that. So Richard is thinking, you're not bred. Right. If Tristan had come, he would have done all of those things that Logan did, and Richard would have been fine.
Well, and Richard knows that Tristan is at this birthday party because he goes to Chilton. So, like, automatically, you have this leg up.
Yep. And then the name
in his
recognition.
mind. Yeah, sure.
Check.
Yep, good enough.
Yeah.
And I think he even says something like, oh, I approve of your friend here.
Yes, he does.
Doesn't he?
Yep.
Which is so gross on so many levels because he was just treating Rory like crap. He was just like sexually harassing her. And Richard doesn't need to know that. Oh, I approve.
Yeah.
Do you?
No. It's crazy how Richard and Emily's instinct about men and their treatment of Lorelai and Rory is so wrong. Like when Luke walks into Rory's 16th birthday party with the ice. Sorry, you guys, I'm jumping around.
That's okay.
But it makes me think of that because Emily witnesses that. But she's still judgy of him because he's got a hat on backwards. He looks how Luke looks.
Yeah.
But right there, he's taking care
He's
of
helping,
her
yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
And Emily can't see that.
No.
She didn't understand that.
No.
All they want is their checklist of the name, the wealth, and what else is it? Breeding. I don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me sad for them, but also it makes them unable to really help Rory and Lorelai find suitable partners in life. And in fact, like discourage them from finding suitable partners.
Well said. We're going to leave that right there.
Can we talk about Lorelai during Richard's tirade and during this whole dinner? What are your thoughts?
Definitely. I mean, Rory's trying to protect Dean. Lorelai's trying to protect Dean. She's trying to do her thing. She's trying to run interference a bit mostly in the beginning.
Yeah.
She's trying to do her babbling bit, and she's usually pretty good at that.
Right.
At like diffusing situations, saying nonsense, and detracting people. But she can't quite slow him down here.
Yeah. She is silent during this tirade.
She gives up after a while.
I know. It kind of makes me think like that this is when Lorelai retreats back to her childhood, you know, of being on the receiving end of a Richard tirade.
Yeah.
And she can't quite get out of that to move into like mother protective mode.
Yeah.
And I do kind of feel bad for her.
Yeah.
Again, I am going to repeat that Lorelai is hiding her engagement to Max here. So I also think that's another reason that she's just not quite protecting Rory. She's not babbling as much. She's not doing her Lorelai thing because she's hiding a big secret.
Yeah, very true.
Okay. Well, that was a lot for poor Dean. Should we move on to Jess?
Yeah.
Jess's actual dinner.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that his episode is called Swan Song. And we know why it's called Swan Song.
Because of the swan.
Swans are scary.
Yeah, apparently.
I am actually scared of swans.
This isn't the first time they've brought up swans in Gilmore Girls either. Remember in season 1?
Yes.
When Kirk brings in the swans?
And Michelle's afraid of them.
Yeah.
Yes, guys,
They
I
must
agree.
have had some writer on the show with bad experiences with swans.
Swans and geese. They're very scary because they will beak you. I believe it.
They will beat you. Yeah. I mean, during this dinner, Emily is such a trooper. As we already said, she arranged this dinner so that Richard wouldn't be around. And that worked out well here. Rory is sitting waiting for Jess to arrive. And even though Jess is late, Emily is like her best Miss Manners self, isn't she?
Very graceful, very kind. And she's coming up with all the right responses. Like, well, Jess doesn't have a cell phone. Oh, I find that refreshing. Do you?
But does she?
Yeah.
Apparently not. Well, this is my funny thing too. Like, she is trying to be breezy and she's carrying the conversation and she's using these filler sentences that you imagine she uses with everyone else. But her conversation pieces are like completely wrong for a 17-year-old boy.
I know.
Who doesn't care about the world.
I know.
You know, like she's saying things like, these people are supposed to be trained, but that's never the case. You know, and she says the thing about truck drivers and dinner party lists. It's like none of this resonates with Jess.
It doesn't. She even calls Walmart the Walmart Corporation. Like, she doesn't say, I hear that you work at Walmart. She says the Walmart Corporation, which is why he's like, oh, yeah. I want to be buried there.
So do you think he's being snarkier than he should have been?
I mean, he had a rough start. Like, think about sitting in traffic, like he says, to go to a dinner that he doesn't want to go to. So that's tough right there. It's Friday. He's gotten hurt. We don't know how, but he's hurt. And that was probably kind of scary and upsetting experience.
Yeah.
I mean, again, swans are big. They're kind of scary. I wouldn't want one in my face near my head.
No.
And now he knows, too, that he's showing up with a black eye. And even if Jess wants to play this off as not a big deal, he's smart enough to know it is. And he's probably not sure how to play it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's showing up in a difficult state.
Definitely.
And we've talked about Jess is not one for small talk.
No.
So Rory, so as much as I don't want to encourage Rory having to always help Jess through everything, also she knows him and she asks this of him. So I would expect for her to help him through this night.
For sure.
Fill in.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And it's interesting that she didn't want Lorelai there or felt it would be easier without her, because if anything, I would think Lorelai could be a bridge between Jess and Emily.
Yes.
Because Lorelai understands very much how each of them function.
That was fascinating.
Yeah.
Rory's very quick to be like, oh, that's fine that Lorelai can't come.
Yeah.
And then says, you'd be trying to shield me all night and that might make things worse.
That is fascinating.
She's like, out of love. And I love you. You know that.
I don't know. I think Lorelai would be helpful there. But also, maybe this is partially knowing that Jess thrives best in very small circumstances. And the more people are there, the more he withdraws. So like if Lorelai were there, she would be doing all the talking. Jess would just withdraw and not say a thing.
So right. Yes.
And if in Rory's eyes, if she really wanted Jess and her grandparents to form some kind of relationship, which again is naive, maybe she thought this was the best way for them to like really know who Jess is.
Yeah.
You know, like she tells Lorelai at one point, you don't know the real him.
Yep. We do have to remember too, when you asked me about, Jess showing up at the door, that he and Rory were having friction leading up to this because of the incident with Dean and Rory being at Miss Patty's rehearsal and it going out in the newspaper so everyone knows.
Flyers around town.
Yeah. So Jess finds out and asks Rory about it, and he's uncomfortable with that. So this is why Rory assumes that Jess got in the fight with Dean. That's where all this is coming from.
Mm-hmm. Very true. Very true. And with each boyfriend, it's fun to think about like how hard is each boyfriend trying to impress the Gilmores. And with Dean, it was, it was just his Midwestern good manners. Jess, I would say like to the naked eye, he's not trying to impress them at all. But as you said, for him, kind of the act of showing up is sadly kind of going out of his way, like just with his personality type, what he went through that day. He doesn't try to impress Emily at all. But for him, it's just like showing up there is his way of saying to Rory, like, I'm trying.
Yes, it is.
I'm trying to be a good boyfriend for you.
Yeah.
I don't care what your grandparents think of me, but I'm trying to be here for you.
And it's too bad that Rory hits him right at the door with like, where'd you get the black eye? And were you in a fight?
Yes.
And she didn't give him a minute.
No, she didn't.
Also,
and we'll get more to Rory in a moment.
Can I say, I find it strange. Emily is very inconsistent with taking people's coats at the door. Isn't this just like, I know her maid wasn't there.
Yeah.
But isn't this just something you do?
It absolutely is. That's always bugged me about this scene. Yeah. And I wonder if it's because they wanted Jess to be able to just like leave easily on his own. Although I think
the maid
does come over and take it.
So he leaves without a coat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he doesn't care.
No.
But yeah, why did no one take it?
I don't like that.
It's always bugged me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then he puts it on the dining room chair, and I feel like that's just a no-no.
Yeah. Emily wouldn't want it there, but the maid knew that.
Yes. So, did you think that Emily was being so kind to Jess because she saw how Rory was kind of like laying into him? And so Emily didn't really have to do that. Emily's role became having to actually like control the situation so it didn't get out of control and be the polite one.
Yeah, she was the smoother.
Yeah.
Yeah, she had to patch things up, try to keep moving the dinner forward.
Oh, yeah.
I think she just wanted to get out of there unscathed.
Yeah.
At that point, she didn't really want to, have a great evening or learn about Jess.
Right.
Like she was just trying to keep everybody moving forward.
Or even like try to tear him down. Like she might, she wasn't going to do that. She wasn't going to like lay into him at all.
No grilling on the menu.
No. But I love even when she's giving them space too. Like she's very aware that Rory's upset. And when she gets up to get the salt and pepper, like she's making excuses to give them time to talk. And I just love that.
I love it too. And again, that probably made it easier not having Richard and Lorelai there.
Yeah.
The dynamic would have been so different.
Yes, it would have been.
She was almost like the third wheel.
Yes.
In her own home.
She was like pretending to not hear them. Like, oh, what?
Right. And when she went to get the salt and pepper, she's just like standing at the door listening. Yeah. What are they saying? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
This is another one of my favorite Jess line. His disgust over the raisins in the salad.
Oh, I know.
Can't people leave well enough alone?
Which is hilarious because we have a different episode when Emily is so angry about walnuts in the salad.
Yep.
But she put raisins in.
I mean, I'm fine with both of those in a salad.
Me too. Preferably together. Nothing goes better than nuts and dried fruit together.
A little feta. I know you don't do dairy, but it's like goat cheese.
That's a good salad right there.
I love that he's disgusted by that.
And he's really mean about the portrait of Rory in the study.
He is.
What's up with that? Like, now I've seen everything.
He's really being discussed.
Yeah.
From inside out. Taking over the panel. It's not the panel.
Yeah, the dashboard.
The dashboard. I always say panel.
Panel's fine.
Dashboard.
Control panel.
Could
be both.
Yeah, he was just disgusted by everything.
Yeah. At that point, though, it was just, there was nowhere to go. He was being mean for the sake of it because they were too far gone, Yeah. Okay. So that was most of the meat of the dinner.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Okay. All right. So how about Logan? We talked about how Richard and Emily are acting before he gets there. Fawning. Okay. And then he comes. And what do we have here besides beautiful lapels?
You know what's crazy, though, is before he shows up. Like, talk about the power dynamics. Emily and Richard have decided, well, I'll back up. Emily has decided that she's going to put Lorelai in her place for reasons I don't understand. Because
I do.
Okay, go ahead. You take it. Like, how does Emily get the upper hand here?
She's pissed off because Lorelai has not been to dinner since the whole wedding vow renewal fight.
Right.
And then Lorelai says, like, I'm going to come to dinner because Logan's going to be there.
Yeah.
Or this is Emily's understanding of it.
Right.
And so even though Emily is the one who should be apologizing for everything that went down at the wedding, and she thinks she did because she showed up at Luke's and told them to get back together. That's her version of an apology. And then Lorelai says, like, I'm still mad at you, even though we're back together. Emily cannot understand that.
No.
She views that argument as over. And so, like, why are you not coming to dinner? Oh, and now you're going to deign to come when you want to meet Logan. So this is my home. I'm going to put you on the couch, pretend I don't know your drink, and treat you like crap all night.
It's so bad.
It's so mean. It makes you wonder, like, is this how they always treated her? As
exactly.
A child and a teenager when she didn't do something they liked?
Exactly.
Were they this mean?
I think with these dinners, we see elements of that, of Lorelai's childhood, and we can really feel for her.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm a little bit surprised by how much Lorelai goes along with it. I feel like she might have stood up for herself more because she was mad. She has every right to stand up for herself.
Yeah. I mean, she does a little bit with, like, you know, no one has to babysit me, Mom. Like, I can sit here myself.
But once Logan's there.
It's a martini. It's always been a gin martini with an olive. She's saying some of that in front of him. Like, I've never had a sidecar. It's always been a martini.
I know, but when she makes the joke about the crow pogs and they literally shame her as if, guys, she's making a joke. I wish she was like, I know, I was just kidding.
Seriously.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, she's not dumb.
No, and I think maybe Lorelai was trying to be on slightly good behavior too, because, like, this is a new boyfriend that for the first time, Lorelai does not know.
Yeah. This is not a good situation.
The dynamic is all off for
Lorelai
her.
should not have put herself in this situation.
No, are you kidding me? Like, you find another outing. You say, oh my God, I can't believe my parents get to meet Logan before I do. This is her. This is Lorelai to Rory. How about I come by Yale on Sunday and I bring you guys out to a diner for breakfast?
Come on now.
Like, something that's more all of their speeds.
Yes.
And then she would get him to herself.
Yes.
It was such a terrible idea for her to show up.
So bad. So it's almost like it's hard to focus on what's going on with Logan.
Yeah.
But it's amazing Emily's ability to switch between being horrible to Lorelai and then turning to Logan and complimenting and laughing at everything he says is incredible.
It's extraordinary. And Logan even senses it. Like, he's uncomfortable.
Yes, he is. Rightfully so.
He senses the tension and he's kind of like,
Yeah, they're being inappropriate in front of a guest. Why do they think it's appropriate? Like, do they think this makes them look better?
Because they don't view her as one of them. Yeah, and I think it's like, oh, don't mind our daughter over here. She doesn't know anything about the Ivy Leagues. She doesn't know anything about Cape Cod.
If it's their way of being like, don't look at that single mother over here.
Yep.
Just forget about that.
Pretend
that doesn't
we're
matter.
Rory's parents.
Yeah. Look over here. Yeah. We're the ones that matter.
who breeded her.
Uh-huh. Horrible.
We have to stop using that word. Yeah. And so, like, when we talk about impressing the Gilmores, Logan, I would say, tries very hard to impress, but also it's second nature to him.
Yeah, it's just what he does.
Like, he brings the hostess gifts, but it's not that he's trying to be a good boyfriend or trying to be a good guest. It's like, this is just what you do.
It's what you do. It's protocol.
It's what you do.
Yep. He would have done this with any family.
Yeah. And so I don't even, whereas like Dean and Jess were, I'd say, trying a little bit hard. I know this sounds weird with Jess, but like I think they were trying a little bit harder to be a good boyfriend to Rory by showing up in this situation. Yeah. Whereas Logan's over here like, I do this kind of thing all the time. I could do this in my sleep. Sure, I'll go.
Has a right to be there. He feels he has a right to be there, whereas Dean and Jess do not. Just in the way that Rory felt she had a right to be at Logan's house, which is why she says, but I'm a Gilmore.
Right.
If the Gilmores had done something similar to Logan, he would have been like, but I'm a Huntsberger. Mm-hmm. They feel they have a right to be in certain spaces based on who they are and their upbringing.
Which says a lot about privilege and just that comfort of existing in certain spaces, even though it's funny because like these are all white men that we're talking about, boys, men, and all kind of like of a certain, you know, whatever. I mean, they have different backgrounds.
They do.
And so that's really where I guess the wealth and the socioeconomic status is showing up.
It sure is, yeah.
In these dinners.
And the Gilmores like the blonde hair. They like the blonde hair and blue eyes. Like, you guys, come on.
Yeah.
Relax.
Like the look of Christopher, too. Huh?
Yeah.
That light coloring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then, of course, so, like, Logan is doing this as second nature, as we said. But he's also, which also means that he's going to bring all the things he does in the normal course of life with him, which means instead of trying to impress the Gilmores, he is doing his life and death brigade tricks because I feel like he's viewing this not as my girlfriend's family, but like it's just another dinner.
It's just another rich house.
Exactly. It's just another rich dinner. It's just, so I'm going to do my life and death brigade tricks. Whereas like, he wouldn't have done that at Lorelai's house.
No.
He wouldn't have done that in Stars Hollow.
No, it's so true. Oh my gosh. So it's almost like a little bit of a looking down on them in a way. It's kind of like making fun of his own people.
Yeah. Just like a way to distance yourself maybe and be young and carefree and be like, I don't take life too seriously because I see these rich people are funny and I'm kind of pranking them.
This is why people compare Logan and Lorelai.
Yeah.
As wanting to distance themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So do we need to keep going with the sewing box and the whole, like, I can't remember if we've talked about this on the pod already. I feel like we did once that the maid almost got fired and Logan was going to sit there and do nothing.
Yeah.
So I know this is like a major point of contention for people in the fandom. Mm-hmm. And I get why. And I agree, frankly. And I think what's even grosser to me, well, not grosser, it's just equally as gross, is that he has ample opportunity to make the switch or to just like put it on the table or hand it to Rory. But he kind of like looks, he kind of like glances at her, glances around and decides not to do anything.
Mm-hmm. He could have even been like the good guy. Like, oh, I found it. Is this it?
Yeah.
They would have loved him even more.
So true.
Yeah.
But he was going to let the maid take the heat for it.
Because he knew Lorelai saw him. If potentially only if Rory knew, he may have played the good guy and said, here it is. But because Lorelai saw him, I think he didn't have that move.
Yeah.
So he did not know what to do.
It really set their... He didn't.
He didn't.
It set their relationship off on such a bad footing.
Yeah. And I actually do think he was embarrassed. I think he felt shame.
I do too. The look on his face was...
Yeah. Because he was caught.
Excellent.
Yeah. Caught twice.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I love that Emily noticed. I love that they had her notice that her sewing box was gone.
Like, not every rich person is the same. You've never dealt with Emily Gilmore. She doesn't miss a beat.
Because if you look at Logan's house, I can see where things could move around and you might not notice.
Yeah.
That's a big house.
But you notice if the Velasquez is missing.
I would totally notice that.
So should we talk about like who had kind of the power and the leverage during each of these dinners? Because it was very different from dinner to dinner.
Yeah.
You know, with the Dean dinner, it was all Richard.
Yes.
I would say like he held all the power.
Yep.
over-
Even in his silence.
Exactly. Yeah. He got to do the silence. He got to do the grilling.
Yep.
And kind of like almost to decide when the dinner was over, even though
Yep.
Rory was the one to storm off. But yeah.
Well, I think he knew by creating that tirade that it would be ending the dinner. I don't know what else he expected to happen.
No. They were not going to have Twinkies after that.
No.
I really wanted to try the homemade Twinkie.
Absolutely. That would be good.
Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
And then with the Jess dinner, weirdly, it felt like Rory had almost
Yeah.
a lot of the power here because she set the tone for things when he walked in.
She sure did.
Like, I don't fault her for wanting to know what happened. I also think there's a time and a place. Like, after he says, I don't want to talk about it. I just had a long ride. I sat in traffic. I feel like she should have let it go. What do you think?
100%. And I think what we're seeing here is her shame. Because she knows that Emily knows that Lorelai thinks that Jess isn't good for Rory.
Did everybody just follow that?
And then he shows up with a black eye, just completely affirming all of these thoughts. Rory's seeing all of this, and I imagine her embarrassment and shame. And to cover that up, she starts attacking him.
Yeah.
And
She's
she
going to be
can't
the one to
stop.
get mad instead of
Yes.
Emily.
Yes.
Maybe she would. Do you think she was worried at all about like what Emily would do with this? And that instead of letting it get to Emily, that Rory should just be the one to kind of like cause a spectacle?
Yeah, I feel like probably very
that-
unconsciously and in like split second decision making. That's what she did. But she actually does admit it when they're fighting in the office. She says, "You embarrassed me in front of my grandmother."
Yeah.
So I think this is shame
Totally.
for her.
Totally. And she knows she's kind of carrying the night because Lorelai's not there.
Yeah.
So she's like responsible for all this. I think she's
Yeah.
feeling a little lost without mommy.
Yeah.
Not in a mean way. Just like Lorelai might have helped to calm her a little bit. She would have done the diffusing.
Yep.
Anyway. Okay. And then with Logan, I mean, weirdly, Logan's the one with the power.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he knows it
he definitely knows
in kind of
it.
an uncomfortable way.
Yeah. I
So,
think he
like-
tries to play into it, like,
Yeah.
oh, tennis and email and whatever. I don't know.
I'll
like,
get you my
he's-
racket
yeah.
guy. I'll get you my speaker system.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
hook you
like-
up.
Martha's Vineyard, Cape's great. Like, he's trying to just go with it.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is definitely a little uncomfortable.
Wouldn't it be weird to have these like 60-year-olds fawning over you
Oh, yeah.
when you're 22?
Yeah. Although, you know what? Remember when Rory, this is later when she and Logan are together. This is when she's working at the DAR and she's covering the event that's at her grandmother's house.
Yep.
That her grandmother's not at.
I remember.
And there are women there from the DAR. Logan shows up.
Yes.
And how do the ladies react with him? Oh, Logan. That's so
the
good to meet
Huntsberger.
you. Oh. It's like, maybe everyone fawns over him like this. It's kind of ick.
Wait, do you think they acted that way because he's a Huntsberger or he's cute?
I think it's both. I think he's a good looking kid.
Yeah.
And then people are like, oh.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Kind of creepy, but funny. Okay. And then how about Rory's role in each one? I feel like it's very different from dinner to dinner,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Especially like if you think about how old she is.
Yeah.
With the time span of those.
So true. So in the Dean dinner, she's like the protector.
I love
You know,
that.
she's like, you don't even know him. He's a great
Yeah.
guy, this and that. And you can't talk about my boyfriend like that. She's totally being Dean's protector.
I love it.
And I kind of like, yeah, it's the first time she's ever stood up to her grandparents. really.
Yeah. And even when they go back to the house, she and Lorelai go back to their house and Rory's ranting and she's upset and she's saying, I've never seen him act this way. And then Lorelai stands up for Richard. which is weird to me.
I know.
But
it is also, yeah. I think she could have waited till the next day. But I like how Lorelai said, you know, this isn't necessarily just about you.
Yeah.
Like, she kind of had to. Like, part of this is baggage from me.
Yeah.
He's worried about you.
Yeah. I was surprised that Lorelai could do it then.
I know.
I thought she'd be where Rory was.
I know.
In the ranting. But maybe because Rory was ranting,
all of this
she was
coming. And like you kept saying, she was distracted by Max.
Yeah.
And maybe finally she has the chance to put all this together. And she's like, oh, yeah, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
That was obvious.
Yeah, like, oops. Okay.
Missed that. Oops.
Yeah.
And then with Jess, Rory is weirdly the instigator.
Yeah.
And then with Logan, I feel like she's just a passive participant. Like, she tries to include Lorelai in the conversation. She's not super successful. And then she gives up after the whole
She does.
trinket switch up. She's like, okay, well, that's done.
Yeah.
But then I would say she's also a little bit of a protector in the sense that she doesn't make him fess up or take the sewing box out. Like, wouldn't you kind of elbow your boyfriend and be like, dude, just put it on the table?
Yes, do something.
She's protecting him.
No, yeah. And she tells him no when he first does it. She says, Logan, no.
Oh my God.
And then he convinces her, and that's when she's like, you're crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So he it's kind of like a playful manner?
When she says no?
Yeah, I forgot the no.
She was like, no, Logan, no. Oh. Like, she wasn't very uncomfortable. And then she's playful, like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she keeps giving up. She's just like, I don't know. These people are doing all this stuff. Like, I don't know.
It's not dissimilar to when Logan and Christopher meet. And she kind of opts out because they're having all these ridiculous conversations about getting kicked out of boarding school. Mm-hmm. And she's just like, you guys are...
Yeah.
And she just sits there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about when Rory and Logan first come in and the Gilmores call them perfect? Look at you. So perfect. She's like, we're not perfect.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah. So I think she's just like trying to manage a lot here that maybe she didn't quite expect.
Yeah.
And I can't... I don't know how she thought Emily was going to treat Lorelai. I don't know if she thought about it, but she had to know that was going to be a weird dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I would say some of the protecting of Logan probably also comes from this whole our relationship is new thing.
Yeah.
Commitment is new. I don't want to scare him off. Mm-hmm. I want to keep him in my world.
Mm-hmm. He's not making it easy, is he?
No, not so much. Yeah. So those were some dinners there, huh?
Yeah.
Should we talk about what happened after the dinners?
Sure. Let's do it. Do we have more to talk about?
Have I fully exhausted
I know.
you?
Like, do we have more to talk about? Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe just like, was there an impact on each of these boyfriends?
Yeah. What happened after?
I think I would say with Dean, it maybe gave him a slight complex about whether he matched up with Rory or not, and maybe contributed to some of their long-term problems. Like maybe I am inferior in some way. But interesting that he tells Richard at that dinner, I love that Rory's going to Harvard. You know, I'm not going to interfere in that. And then literally it's like the next episode or 2 episodes later that he's like, well, you're going to Harvard. I could care less about Harvard. I was like, wait a minute, Dean. That's not what you promised.
Dude. Yeah. And the other interesting piece is Richard and Rory's relationship. And after this dinner, Emily forces Richard to apologize. But do you remember why?
Yeah.
It's because Suki calls right after this dinner and invites them to Lorelai's shower. This is her engagement to Max. Emily didn't know about this. She's extremely distraught and goes right into Richard's study and says, you're going to apologize to Rory because when she gets engaged, I want her to tell us. He's just sitting there like, huh?
What? He's like, I'm not going to do that. Oh, yeah. And then he's kind of dumbstruck.
He is.
For Emily, it feels like this huge growth moment of realizing for the first time that once in a while, it's better to support your family members instead of be right about their lives.
Uh-huh.
Why couldn't she run with that?
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little growth for them.
Good point. That was a big change for Rory and Richard.
But I like that they play out the apology because they indicate that Richard called at some point, but then he pulls her aside at the following Friday night dinner and apologizes again, and they hug, and it's cute.
I like the
It's
way
nice
they
to
did
see
that too. It was nice to see. And then with Jess, I feel like it highlighted Rory's trust issues with him.
Yeah.
I mean, she has to go to Dean to find out the truth about whether they got in a fight or not. That's not great. But something good that I would say came from it is the conversation that Luke and Jess had in the boat the next day. That heart to heart was really good, you know, and Luke gives him some advice about the mother comes with this girl. The grandmother comes with this girl. I think it helps to switch Jess's frame of mind a little bit.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, yeah, okay, I got to work a lot harder for this relationship.
Well said. Nothing else.
And then Logan, I mean, he leaves there knowing he's loved, but the problems I see are that I feel bad for Rory in the sense that it does start Logan and Lorelai off on this really just bad note.
Yes.
This kind of sour note. And if they had their own separate get together, would have been totally different.
Yes. And also, Lorelai already has her hunches up. What is it? What's the phrase?
Antenna?
Antenna up. Lorelai already has her antenna up because of how the Huntsbergers treated Rory. And she tries to tell the Gilmores this right after they leave, after Logan and Rory leave, and they don't want to hear it. So this is the first time that her warnings are ignored. The first of her warnings.
And well, also, Lorelai doesn't do a very good job of it.
No.
Like her brain was jumbled.
Yeah.
She was trying to get it out. It didn't feel like she was making a lot of sense. It wasn't the right time.
No, it wasn't. She just wanted to yell.
But they also needed to know about the dinner.
They did.
But they didn't believe her.
I would say Rory and Logan don't seem very impacted by this dinner because in the next episode, they seem very close. Logan checks in on her internship. He shows up there and he says, hey, how's my dad treating you? Is he treating you okay?
Right. He seems concerned. I wonder if it changed, if anything, if it changed Rory's opinion of him at all. Like seeing the whole stealing the sewing box and all that.
I don't know,
like,
Catherine. I think she kind of likes it.
Yeah.
I think there's just a little bit of it that excites her.
Well, it's the adventure that she's been waiting for.
Yeah, it is. That's the piece of Logan, you know, the guy that she never had that quality in any of her other guys. So I think it makes him exciting.
True.
You know, it's also interesting. It moves the plot forward with Lorelai attending Friday night dinners again. Because in the next episode, they're just all like sitting at Friday night dinner and they're fine.
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay.
They needed to get her back.
They did.
So even though it didn't make sense, it helped to get her back.
Yeah, it did. Wow, Rory. Okay.
Wow, I would say, wow, Richard and Emily.
No, meaning Rory having to go through that. Like, wow.
True.
Yeah.
I was like, what did Rory do?
No, just having to get through all that. I was like,
oh my gosh, it's true. Oh, boy.
Girl. Man. That was a lot.
Do you remember your hubby meeting your grandparents?
No,
meeting our grandparents?
No. Do you know my grandma still talks about she remembers meeting my husband when we were just in the same friend group and he was like at our house. She still talks about this story.
Just hanging out.
Yeah. And she says she remembers seeing him and being like, I want him for Jackie.
Shut up.
She tells me this story like weekly.
No way.
It's the cutest thing.
I had no idea.
And we still didn't get together until like 2 years after. You've never heard her tell this?
I've never heard the story.
It's so cute.
I love it.
Yeah. And, and then she'll say, and then I found out he was going to school. He went to school in the Midwest.
Yeah.
For reasons.
She probably didn't like
good
that.
reasons, but anyway. And she was like, oh no. When she heard that, she still tells this.
Oh my gosh. I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
It's very cute. There's nothing like a grandma just like telling you these stories over and over. I love it.
And like having that intuition too.
So super cute. All right. Are we ready to get Totsied? Are we moving on?
Yes.
Okay. All done with dinner.
Okay. Should I start?
Sure.
All right, Jackie, mine's kind of weird. Do you remember during the Festival of Living Art when Lorelai's freaking out about twitching? Or what did she call it?
Flinched.
Flinch.
Yeah.
Flinching.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to flinch. And she's fussing up to Rory. I flinched. What should I do? She's panicking.
I feel like I know what you're going
And
to say.
Rory gives her advice.
Yeah.
Do you remember what she says?
Think of London. Or is it England?
Think of England.
England. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know where that comes from?
No, but they say it another time in Gilmore Girls.
Here we go.
No.
I have some weird news for you, Jackie.
What?
Okay. So I was watching Gossip Girl. You guys know I recently completed it.
Yeah.
And Chuck says to someone, just lie back and think of England. And I'm like, hold on. My antenna went up. Like,
yeah.
He's telling someone to think of England, and so did Rory. But he's saying lie back and think of England. Jackie, I Google it, okay? And it was this. Okay, this is the AI overview, but I'm just going to share it anyway.
The AI overview.
Lie back and think of England is an idiom meaning to endure an unpleasant, boring, or unwanted situation stoically for the sake of duty. Historically, it was advice given to Victorian-era women to tolerate marital sex, though it is now often used humorously to describe grit your teeth acceptance. Like, I did not know that. You did not know that?
Either. Rory would know that as someone who's well read, I feel like.
Yeah, or it's one of those things you hear people say and you don't know where it comes from. You don't know what it is.
So, no, I think she would know.
And that was Rory's only advice.
Yeah.
I remember always thinking that was weird. Like, why would she say think of England? That's so random.
Yes, but also like Lorelai or someone else gives that same advice another time. And I keep meaning to write it down when I hear it. I will try to catch it and we'll talk about it. But that's weird. Okay, so the Palladinos had that. And we're just confused.
Isn't that creepy?
Good job.
Isn't that creepy?
No, I like that you just educated us.
I educated you, but the origins are creepy.
Well, yeah. I thought you were going to say like during labor.
Oh, no. Oh, my God. I mean, they probably said that too.
Yeah, right? Oh, just think of England, honey.
Right. Here, have these ice chips. All right, I'm glad to get that one off my chest.
Good one.
How about you, Jack?
Well, I had a dream the other night about us podcasting.
Oh my gosh.
And it's my first podcast dream. And we were talking, and then I looked down. We were like finishing our podcast, and I look down and there's no microphone in front of me. And then I look at you and there's no microphone in front of you. And I'm like, Catherine, we have no microphones. And then I look and we like don't have our recording device. And I was like, what were we just doing? Like, why did we just do an episode without all this stuff? And then I woke up.
We just lost an hour of discussion.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I have to say, like, hilarious. It almost falls into the realm of like, I'm in school and I don't know where my classes are and I didn't study for the test. But it wasn't that stressful. Okay. It wasn't that level of stress. It was more of like, just what were we, what? Like confusion more.
Okay,
like,
confusion.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I hate those other dreams.
Those are so stressful. I have those a lot.
Mine have been fading, but
no, same. When I say a lot, I mean probably like twice a year.
Yeah.
But it does feel stressful every time. Like, I have to take this test and I've never even been to this class before.
And then you're like, wait, but why didn't I go to the class? And you're like trying so hard to think about it.
Yeah.
Like, but what was I doing?
That happens to Felicity for real.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she has to take they won't let her drop it because it's too late in the marking period.
Oh, did she think she dropped it or something?
Yeah, she was like, I was never signed up for this class, or I dropped it. Oh, no, she thought she dropped it, but Megan never mailed in the ad drop form for her. That's what she was supposed to, but you don't trust Megan.
No,
she's not dependable.
Megan. No.
Okay, thank you for joining us this week. Come join in the conversation on Instagram at Gabbing Gilmore, and be sure to follow the show in your podcast app so you never miss an episode.
We also have a great new way to hear from you. You can leave us your most pressing thoughts with a simple voice note over at speakpipe.com/Gabbing Gilmore, and you just might hear yourself on the air.
Gabbing Gilmore is edited and produced by us, Jackie Prosick and Catherine Bailey. Cover art by MGI Studios. See you next time.
Copper boom!